Hey, so today I will be sharing with you how I made, I don't know really what to call it, probably like tooth jars, or I made for a short film, experimental horror short film, back when I was still studying, or back when I was still in film school. Disclaimer before I actually tell you how I made it, this was not intended to look super realistic. It's not supposed to look like real human teeth or anything. It was a bit more, I almost want to say animated. What you'll need is toilet paper, specifically 2-ply toilet paper. I've noticed that 1-ply toilet paper, unfortunately, because I would have liked using 1-ply because it's cheaper, but 2-ply it looks a little bit more white when you're done with it, whereas the 1-ply looks a bit more brown, so, or like discolored. So if that is the look you're going for, then go ahead and buy 1-ply. The old jars, or honestly old yogurt, like those 1-liter yogurt containers, could also work. Yeah, basically anything that's like a bowl, or yeah, basically an old one that you're not using anymore, preferably white, so that it doesn't, like if you don't pack the teeth like very close to each other, it's not super obvious that there's like a bowl under, or like a vase or something underneath. And then your glue gun, your glue gun to glue the teeth onto the vase. And then optional is like an acrylic glaze. I got mine from P&A. That, again, that's optional. It does add a cool texture to the teeth, making it a little bit more oozy and gooey and looking, but it could also just work without. Okay. The way I made the vases. Basically what I did was I spent about, I'd say, 4 blocks of toilet paper on each tooth. So what I would do basically is I'd take 3 blocks and then I'd dip it slightly into the water. Don't over saturate it, just a little bit of water to make the toilet paper malleable, and basically then I would start forming it in a tooth shape. So I would usually start with the 2 like roots, because that was the kind of most important part that would make it look like a tooth. So then I'd start like forming the roots, and then I'd form the top part, or technically bottom, because yeah, and I'd make that like a square shape to make it look more like a tooth. And yeah, basically that's it. I just did that. Obviously this is quite time consuming, so I'd say like really put it, like plan ahead, do this. I get, like if you're a group, do it as a group. Just, we basically had a few of our crew members at some point making their teeth, and it ended up looking really cool because everybody has their own little unique twist to the teeth that they make, and like some people make it bigger, some people make it smaller, some more round, some more square, and when you put that on the vase it doesn't look so neat. It looked a little bit more organic, so that was kind of cool if that is something you want to turn into a group effort. But anyway, so yeah, basically you form the tooth and then use 1 more block. Basically after you've formed your tooth the way you wanted it to look, you'll see that obviously you basically scrunched up a bunch of toilet paper, so it doesn't have any smooth edges or whatever, so smooth it out as best as you can with your fingertips. But then after that, 1 block of toilet paper, just basically wrap it around, sort of to keep it all together as like a unit. That I found really helps, so that it doesn't like fray out when it dries. So yeah, and then you can leave it out in the sun to dry. That's what I found works best for me. Later on, when I got pressed for time, I did end up putting some in the oven, which again you can do if you're pressed for time, because I did it and it was fine. But obviously you do run the risk of like burning it or making it look, yeah, it just, some of them, when I was still trying to figure out the temperature that I should have the oven on and the time period that I should have it in, I kind of, I won't say burned it, but like, you know, when the top is just like a little bit brown. So yeah, basically leave it out in the sun to dry. If you are pressed for time, I'd say put it in the oven for, it takes quite a lot of electricity, which is also why I wouldn't recommend it, but like 2 hours at 100 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and basically, yeah, after that's dried, you can go ahead and glue it to your vase or your bowl or whatever, with your glue gun, your hot glue gun. Then after that, after you've glued all the teeth, obviously wait for the glue to dry completely, which wouldn't take long because it's hot glue. But after that, this is the optional part. You can just go ahead with a paintbrush and put some of the glaze over it. But if that's not your thing, then you're basically done. So yeah, that's it. That's how I made these tooth jar things. Once again, it was a short film, an experimental horror called Philippa, and I will leave the link in the description for the film.